If you're looking for the latest in hotel, restaurant, and retail technology, stay tuned right here to Tech Advisor Media. Hi, Rob Grimes with Tech Advisor Media, and I'm here with Dean Stowe Shoemaker, who is the Dean of the William F. Harrah College of Hotel Administration at UNLV, and it's an institution that I'm proud to have been a part of for the last 10 or 15 years. And so welcome to the NRA Show.
Thank you, Rob. It's great to be here and great to have a conversation with you. You've been a loyal supporter of UNLV over many years, and we certainly appreciate that. Our students appreciate it, and the knowledge you bring has been very important to us.
Great, well, thank you. You know, the NRA Show is an interesting place for UNLV. Most people would think hotels UNLV, the hotel administration. So what brings you to the NRA Show?
Well, actually, you know, it's the hotel name, Hotel Administration, really is from many, many years ago. And as the schools expanded, we're very much focused on hospitality and all aspects of hospitality, not just hotels. So we do have a program where students learn everything about the hospitality industry, which not only includes, obviously, restaurants, but also includes gaming. So someday we'll probably be changing our name to make sure we incorporate all areas of the industry. You know,
the thing that's really impressed me about UNLV over the years, and you actually just said, I don't know if you meant to say it this way, but he really talked about restaurants first, he said gaming second, okay? The interesting thing is I'm sure that most people think of UNLV as the top gaming school out there. And when I think of the industry, I think of the lodging side, I think of gaming, but actually if you look at Las Vegas and you look at the gaming industry, the restaurants playing such an important piece of this today that people actually make a destination choice of a casino or gaming company, sometimes based upon the restaurants and things that they have there. So UNLV is really trying to be in all areas.
Yes, we are, and you're absolutely correct. Las Vegas is great at repositioning themselves. And over years, you know, obviously they used to always be total gaming, but then they've really moved more and more into the meetings and convention business. And with meetings and conventions comes entertainment. With entertainment comes restaurants. And now probably you could argue that we have more top chefs and top restaurants in one location probably than anywhere in the world. And so at UNLV, our goal is to really focus on that and give students the opportunity to understand this exciting field, which is really the restaurant industry.
And you have something unique that most hospitality programs don't have, which is really a working laboratory, as I've heard it put right in your backyard surrounding you, of thousands of hotel rooms and restaurants and the gaming, all of it really that you can give as an advantage to the students.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at hospitality programs around the country, pretty much everybody focuses on the business of hospitality. They talk about the business side, so they give lots of business classes with hospitality examples. What we're trying to do at UNLV is really change the paradigm and really focus on what we call the art, the science, and the business of hospitality.
Right.
Where the art is the atmospherics, it's the design, it's the layout, it's the art of table service, it's the art of the decor you put into the restaurant. The science, of course, is revenue management. Should we have how many two tops, how many four tops?
Right.
It's the mixology, right? How do we create molecular gastrometry? How do we incorporate all that science to create a great experience? Right. And then the business side,
now,
of course.
You know, we specifically focus on the technology area. So how does UNLV focus on integrating technology into its courseware, its curriculum, even the food sciences?
Well, I think that's one of the areas we're really catching up with in terms of, you know, industry's gone way ahead of academia in many cases, and certainly technology is one of those areas. I think what we try to do at UNLV, when we talk about technology, is talk about how do we use technology to enhance the overall guest experience. How do we make it easier for the guests to buy and to use our products? Certainly we see a lot of technology in the guest room, but we're going to be starting to see more and more technology being used in restaurants to speed up service and things like that. So our goal right now is to make students, to get them to understand how technology can improve the guest experience.
Now, you have some big plans, you know, for the college.
Yes.
Some of those plans involve a new building.
Correct.
So, you know, being very selfish and very focused on this particular area, that new building, do you expect technology to play a role in the building and what you do with it?
Oh yes, no question. Technology is going to play a major role. And the way we're thinking about our building is creating neighborhoods, where a neighborhood is comprised of the bricks and mortar of the building, it's comprised of the faculty that teach in the school, it's comprised of students, also comprised of sort of neighborhood sustainability. And that neighborhood might be owned by one of the major casinos.
Right.
And in that, we would use technology to be able to show the history, where we envision big touch panel screens where students can learn it by using technology to push button to really get an understanding of that company that kind of owns that neighborhood.
Right.
And of course, within the classroom, there'll be huge technology in terms of how we teach our classes.
And how do you, I mean, you have some of the top professors and brain power, anywhere in the world.
Yes.
In these areas. How do you envision turning that into research, and how do you envision using that to do good for the industry and further that in the industry, either at UNLV or out in the industry in general, and the research that you do?
Well, I think that, I think one good thing about academia is you can always hire consultants to come in and answer kind of a research problem. What we like to think about in terms of academics is how do we solve your problem, but then also add a theoretical spin to help you think about questions you hadn't asked.
Or help them think about the future.
Help them think about the future. So when we think about new technologies, having, putting that technology into our classrooms, where manufacturers can come in and test things.
Right.
We can run experiments to see what works, what doesn't work, how they're used by this future generation.
Right.
All of that can happen within an academic environment.
Now, it's interesting because you're talking about how to be able to test things. You're talking about giving people a real-world experience, but none of this is possible unless you have the right partnerships with both business and industry as well as the suppliers.
Correct.
So, moving forward, how do the suppliers in the industry, work with UNLV? How do the operators in the industry work with UNLV? So that it's not just about hiring the students, which of course is very important, but also in developing these new technologies and spotting the trends and doing research. How does that work?
Well, what we do is we would like, certainly I'm at the restaurant show, really to see what's out there, to talk to manufacturers, to get ideas on how we can partner on research projects. I think the other thing that industry can do is they can just pick up the phone and call me at stowe.shoemaker@unlv.edu, and we can create that relationship and begin that dialogue.
But it is very important. You can't do it all on your own. It's
No.
very important to have that kind of partnership between business, industry, the suppliers,
No question.
to make it forward.
No question. We, in the old days, academics would come in and they didn't care about the industry because they would create knowledge.
Right.
And we'd stand in the foot of the classroom and students would write everything we said. But now knowledge is so much more broad. Everybody has an understanding of something. And what we want to do at UNLV is we want to say industry can teach our students a lot. We can teach industry a lot. Let's truly partnership and come up with the ideas you just mentioned. And that's really where academia is going in the future.
Well, I think it's great to see UNLV out. At events like the NRA Show, hopefully at things like FS Tech and High Tech and all the different areas to get out there, and also to get the students, and faculty involved as well. And I'm glad you could sit down with us and spend some time today. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're always happy
Great.
to talk about UNLV and the exciting things we're doing.
Great,
So
thank you. So Rob Grimes for Tech Advisor Media with Dean Stowe of. I can't believe that. I was doing great. I've done so.
That's fine because I have a newsletter we put out called Stowflakes.
Stowflakes. With Dean Stowflakes. Now I'm going to get that in my head, right? But Rob Grimes with Tech Advisor Media with Dean Stowe Shoemaker of UNLV. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.